Okay. All right. Now we are at one of the title stories, one of the stories that I told y'all to be here to find out. How many of y'all were here when we talked about Salt-N-Pepa? Salt-N-Pepa's here. Salt-N-Pepa's here. Salt-N-Pepa's here. How many of y'all were here when we talked about Salt-N-Pepa? You know what, I might cut this show short today because apparently everybody is outside. Okay. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago we talked about Salt-N-Pepa, and we talked about how they were suing UMG, Universal Music Group, to return their copyrights for their hit songs. We talked about how there is a copyright reversion law that after 35 years, if you have sold your masters, they revert back to you, right? So Salt-N-Pepa, they have been in the rap game for 40 years and counting. They wanted their masters back. So they sued UMG. UMG kept saying, well, no, you don't have any copyrights. This was a work for hire. And we were all like, what are you talking about? Nobody was even worried, was even doing work for hires back then. So we have an update, and it's not good. Apparently, Salt-N-Pepa did not own the masters to their music. Their producer owned the rights to the music. So Salt-N-Pepa, they have no rights to the masters of the music that they perform, that, you know, that is being streamed. Okay. Yeah, they said they never owned it in the first place. So understand that just because you created the music doesn't mean you own it. If you don't have a copyright, a legal copyright, not a poor man's copyright, because again, we said those do not exist. If you do not have a legal copyright, okay, you don't own the thing. You don't own it. You don't own the art. You don't own the song. You don't own the dance. It is, and you know, of course, back then in the 80s, nobody was thinking about these intellectual property rights. I'm sure had Salt-N-Pepa been properly educated at that time, they would have been like, hey, we need a piece of that. But according to the law, Salt-N-Pepa have no legal rights to the masters of the music they created, because it was all owned by their producer. Okay? Do we understand? Do we understand? Do we understand? Okay. All right. But yeah, that's just this is just another reason why it's important for you to understand intellectual property, understand